FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon joins me now. And Bobby, I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I know we're all looking forward to the new year. And of course, with the work that you have done over the years, you've worked Times Square yourself. You've done all sorts of events helping with security and coordination and crisis management, from the Rose Bowl to Staples Center, the Oscars, the World Series. So you really know the effort that goes into one of these events. And part of it is the coordination, right? The multi-agency coordination. Training has been going on for some time, I suppose.
Actually, that's the biggest part, Michaela. And you heard it in the comments from the police every time they mentioned the partners, when we want to thank our partners. This is a multi-layered security apparatus, and it's ongoing year-round. The FBI here in Los Angeles works with the LA PD, the LA Fire Department, LA Sheriff. In something like the Oscars, we work with the Beverly Hills PD. At the Rose Bowl, we work with the Pasadena Police. In New York City, we work with all kinds of agencies, the NYPD and the myriad of other agencies. And we train year-round for these kind of things, and we deploy all kinds of assets. And the real proof is in the pudding when we tie ourselves at the hips of our local partners. So you have state, federal, local, international sometimes. I was in Greece for the Olympics there, working with the Greek authorities. I was in Salt Lake City at the 2002 Olympics, working with the State Department and other diplomatic security services. So you really have a multi-layered approach, and it's days out when these things start getting deployed. The bomb techs come through with their dogs and sweep the venues. The SWAT teams get counter snipers like you and I spoke about after the Las Vegas shooting. You'll have counter sniper teams that we just heard described. You'll have hazmat teams putting out air sensing and air monitoring equipment and testing that in the days leading up to all these events at these big venues. It's quite the apparatus behind the scenes. It's great to watch. Of course, some of these things we make public and some of them we don't for obvious reasons. But I can tell the public that there's an enormous security apparatus at all of these big venues.
There's the things that we'll see, the presence of a lot of uniformed and likely plainclothes officers in and around circulating all of these events across the nation, but all of the things, the assets we will not see. One of the assets that I know has become even more important, especially given the improvised attacks that we've seen in time, is the public's help. And we heard that again from officials in New York, the mayor of New York, saying the public has to be part of this. If you see something, you gotta say something.
Absolutely, and in these crowds, it's particularly important because, you know, the eyes, and I've been in a production truck where all the cameras are scanning the crowds. It's impossible to keep an eye on everybody. So we've had in 1999 at the New Year's Eve in Times Square, where I was, my partner was an NYPD detective. We were walking through the crowd. We have teams of these people, but we can only respond to what we see. And when you force multiply our efforts with all the public and someone saying, you know, this guy just put down a backpack and walked away, had that many times. Now, overwhelming majority of the time, that guy left his backpack by mistake or whatever. But if you see something like that, if you see somebody carrying a package, putting it down and walking away from it, you know, tap that person on the shoulder, and hopefully they'll say, oh, I forgot that. Or if they keep walking, notify someone in law enforcement that you see nearby. Most likely there'll be somebody close by. Notify them that somebody just put a package down and walked away. Things like that, the people have to be hyper vigilant in this day and age of observing and reporting.
Yeah, it seems to be the new normal. Well, Bobby Chacon, we hope and pray it is a peaceful and relaxing and celebratory New Year's Eve for all of us, and you included. Thank you always for being available to us. We look forward to talking to you again in the new year.
Anytime. Thank you. Happy New Year.